Welcome to the Body Wisdom Workshop Series. I'm Cherie, your somatic coach, and I am delighted to be here with you to help you foster a deeper understanding of your emotional landscape. In this series, we will be exploring how your nervous system works through the lens of polyvagal theory, as well as how trauma shapes our experiences. We will also be exploring somatic practices that deepen body awareness and that support you in navigating stressful moments and being able to better emotionally regulate. With these insights and practice, you'll be able to cultivate more understanding, compassion, and patience for yourself and others, along with a greater capacity to ground and center yourself in what feels like overwhelming moments so that you can nurture healthier and more meaningful relationships, again, with yourself and others. So let's dive right in. What is exactly emotional regulation? Emotional regulation is our ability to recognize as it's happening and to meet as it's happening our emotions in real time with awareness and understanding, so that we're able to respond to whatever is happening with some sense of inner balance and calm. We're not getting just hijacked into an automatic response. So that's emotional regulation. Our ability to emotionally regulate touches every corner of our lives. It shapes how we handle stress, how we interact with others, how we resolve conflict, and even how we see and treat ourselves. Our ability to stay grounded and centered, even if a little wobbly, allows us to respond to life's challenges with more clarity and compassion. Without effective emotional regulation, stress can easily overwhelm us, leading us to impulsive reactions and difficulties in our relationships. For instance, a moment of frustration might escalate into a heated argument where words that are later regretted are spoken, where real damage is done, or that leads to emotional withdrawal and isolation. This, of course, heightens stress, causes rifts, and also often leaves us feeling disconnected, unfulfilled, and sometimes even shameful. Now, with emotional regulation, this same moment can look very different. Imagine yourself in that same difficult conversation. As tensions begin to rise, maybe you feel a flush of emotion come up. It could be anger or frustration or hurt. And in that crucial moment, instead of reacting impulsively, you're able just to pause and take a deep breath. And in that breath, you're able to start to notice what's happening in your body. Maybe you feel the constriction or tension in your chest, or your elevated heart rate, or the flush of warmth in your face. And you recognize that this is your body's response to the situation and that you're in an activated state. And instead of being swept away by raw emotion, you're able to use that awareness and the tools that you've cultivated to steady and center yourself, so that instead of responding harshly, you can respond and share your feelings or needs with care instead of blame. And you can listen more with an open heart and cultivate curiosity, turning a potentially explosive moment, one that could cause a lot of damage, into one of connection and a desire for deeper understanding of both your experience and that of the others. This, my friends, is emotional regulation in action. It's about being able to cultivate awareness so that we can identify and be aware and understand our emotions as they come up, and having the tools to work with ourselves when we're activated so that we can respond in a way that reflects our deeper values and deeper self-awareness. Now, why is this so often so hard for so many of us? Well, first, we're simply not taught this. not by our family of origin, not by society, and not by our education system. We're not taught how to understand and meet our emotions. And second, well, I can sum it up in just one word: trauma. But the good news is this is something that everyone can learn, and it's actually part of the healing process. The very first step is understanding what is happening in your nervous system when you get activated. Developing body awareness is what is going to help you identify those moments as they're happening. And then tools that come through somatic practice is what's going to allow you to respond skillfully in those moments, whether your impulse is fight, flight, or shutdown. In our very next video, we are going to dive into the polyvagal theory as a framework for understanding how your nervous system responds to both safety and stress. In the meantime, I invite you to reflect on how emotional regulation, or the lack thereof, impacts your daily life and your relationships. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'd love to stay connected. You can follow me over at Your Somatic Coach on Instagram, and I will see you shortly in the next video.